Hey my sweet cupcakes, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you how to make this mini Mickey ombre fall time cake. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I am starting out with a vanilla cake batter. You can use whatever recipe you want. You can even use box cake if you wanted. It just needs to be a light or white colored batter. I am doing 3 layers to this mini cake, so I'm going to go ahead and distribute my batter into 3 as evenly as I can. And I'm going to start out with coloring my first level. So this is lemon yellow from Americolor. I know the bottle looks really gross, but I just use this so much that it is well loved. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of drops in there and just mix it nicely. I also ended up putting a tiny bit of red into this yellow batter just to warm it up a little bit more. Something that I wanted to mention is that you don't want to over mix your batter. If you mix it too much, it's going to be very airy and you're going to end up with holes in your batter. This happened to me and I knew better, but I still did it, so please don't over mix. So for my orange layer, I put a couple drops of lemony yellow from Americolor and a tiny bit of red food coloring from Wilton. The red is gel food coloring, and gel is more concentrated than liquid food coloring is. So yes, I have no idea why I don't have orange in my food coloring stash, so I had to mix it myself. So the red batter is pretty straightforward. I just did red food coloring and I actually added 1 drop of yellow food coloring just to warm it up a little bit so that we can stick to that nice fall time warm tone. So all our batters are ready to go, and now we're going to talk baking pans. So if you have flat bottomed baking pans like this, you can totally use this and you'll probably get more little cakes out of it just because they're bigger. But for the sake of this tutorial, I saw this little Wilton layer pan kit at Michael's and I decided to purchase it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a mini review on these for you guys today. This is what they look like. They are 6 inches in diameter and they're so small, like they're very thin. They're very cute and they make really small cute cakes. So I definitely really love these. So I started out with 3 pans. The kit comes with 5, but I didn't know how much batter they could each hold, so I started out with 3, and I began to prep the pans. I did wash them before the first use because you always want to do that, but I just take some vegetable shortening and I just spread that all around the sides of the pan. You can also use butter if you have that. And then I take some wax paper. You can also use parchment paper, and I cut out a circle to fit the bottom of the pan, and I just eyeball it. You can measure it out if you want to, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Just eyeball that and put that on the bottom of the pan, and it should adhere to the pan because of that vegetable shortening, or if you use butter, it would adhere to the butter. So now it's prepped. This is just going to make it so that your cake comes out very easily. So then I started pouring my batter into the pans, and I poured it a little bit more than halfway, using my spatula to spread the batter out as evenly as I could. And then I did have extra batter, so I ended up using the other 2 pans that came in the kit, and I was able to fill up the extra 2 pans halfway. So here are my cakes and they're all baked. The bottom 3 are the ones that I filled first, so you can see that they're thicker because I filled them up a little bit over halfway, and the 2 on top I filled up halfway on the pan, so you can see they're a lot thinner. You can also see the bubbles that are on top, and that's because I overmixed. So again, please do not overmix. You want to go ahead and remove your wax paper, and as you can see, I did put these cakes on a cooling rack so that they can cool down. So now it is time to cut and assemble the cakes. So I'm going to go ahead and start by removing the dome part of the cake. I just want to make this as flat as possible. And by removing the top, you're going to see the nice color that is within the cake. Because, again, of the caramelization that happens when you bake, it makes the outside crust area a lot darker than the inside. So we do want to remove the top. Then I'm taking my Mickey Mouse cookie cutter. I think this is technically a sandwich cutter, but of course you can use it for pretty much anything. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut the inside. Now, I usually do not cut the bottom of the cake. Caramelization does happen on the bottom as well, but it's really not as bad as the top usually. But if you did want to remove the bottom, this is how you do it. You just want to do it very, very thin, and then again cut the top. Now I'm doing this in the air, but if you don't feel comfortable doing this mid-air, just do it on a flat surface. Now over here I'm showing you again. I can't stress this enough, you know. Don't overmix. Look at all those big holes. Just please do not overmix your cake. But anyways, you want to cut out all of your layers. And here I have 4-inch cake circles. They are so cute because they're so small, but I'm just taking some buttercream in a piping bag, and I have a star tip on the piping bag, and I'm just going to put a dollop in the middle of my little cake board, and I'm going to put my first layer on top. This is the bottom layer, and then I'm going to go ahead and pipe and fill in between each layer, and then put the other cake layer on top. I hope that makes sense. So now I'm going to go ahead and make some fondant details just to make this little cake even cuter. I have some light brown fondant here, and I'm just rolling this out pretty thin. And I also have these maple leaf punch cutters. They are so cute. I don't know what brand they're from. I actually got these off eBay, so I'll have a link down below for you guys, but they cut out and also indent the fondant. So yeah, they're just so cute, so easy to use, and I just love them so much. So here are my leaves, and in this little palette I have some edible gold luster dust, and I added a couple drops. You don't need that many, maybe just 1 or 2 drops of lemon extract, and I'm just taking a food safe brush and I'm dipping it in, and I'm painting the edges of the leaf, and then kind of just passing my brush through the rest of the leaf so that you can still see some of that brown fondant underneath, but it's kind of covered in gold, if that makes sense. I just think it looks super pretty. Overall, I think during fall time, gold dipped leaves are so stunning and so beautiful. So I really wanted to add that element into this little cake. So you want to add a dollop of buttercream on top of the cake, and then add your leaves, and you're completely done. These are so cute. I hope you guys like them. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.